Sorry, I was explaining how we can generate synthetic data or in a simple words, artificial data using ChatGPT. Used 5 items. Respondents 150. You can generate even 5,000, no problem. Respondents 150. Provide in Excel total 10 items, 5-point Likert scale. I will see whether it will generate or not now, because nowadays ethical issues are there. Yeah, synthetic data, I think you can synthetic data you can generate because it is allowed. In marketing research, nowadays everybody are using synthetic data because they will provide some environment. They tell the artificial intelligence as a respondent, like you are the respondent for this question. Can you generate responses of students, Gen Z, or students who are students of urban area, like that? You have to give full conditions like information, then it will generate responses. See here, it is already generated. The data generated. I use this particular technique for workshop. If you for workshop, I normally I want some data file. For that, I'll generate this. In marketing research, normally they will use synthetic data, but you have to disclose it. If you are using synthetic data, you have to mention that. Okay, download synthetic data a study. You can see here. See, total 10 items. This is moral solution, 5 items. This is sustainable AI usage, 5 items. Total 10 items. We can look at here. Respondent 150. Okay, you can create even age category, all those synthetic data. Well, the problem is, I think you'll get very random and significant result will be very doubtful. I can check, you can check that my paper I have mentioned, I have written. Surprisingly, you will get a good result in simulated data and reconstructed data compared to synthetic data. In synthetic data, you will get some insignificant result, very random, but in simulated data and in reconstructed data, exactly, you'll get exactly the same result what you intend to get. For example, if you wanted to get a correlation point 8 and model fit and factor loading this much, so much, you'll get the same result. So it will generate the data file so that you can get the same result. So nowadays it is very difficult to identify which is the real data and which is the generated AI generated responses. So therefore there is some kind of what they're looking for a solution for that. Okay. Actually, I have found a solution. I have find not solution. I have find the way how we can trace whether it is generated AI data or real data. Because I compared real data with the generated AI data in this paper, in this my paper, and I can easily identify whether it is generated AI data in by using SPSS. There is in SPSS we have option called duplication checking. So in duplication checking, I can test whether it is generated, because if the 90% of the data is duplicate, because how generative data create a data file, it will take 10 respondents, it will create 10 samples as per the result, then it will duplicate same 10 data into multiple 150 responses. So therefore, when you run into SPSS as a duplicate file, you'll get 10 are the original and the remaining 140 are the duplicate. So this way you can identify whether it is real data or generated AI data. So synthetic data. For more detail, you can read this paper because it is a very lengthy process. It takes a lot of time to generate synthetic data and read reconstructed data. In this paper, please read. I used reverse engineering strategy. Okay, in that, how you can generate data using Gen AI. I use ChatGPT and Perplexity. You'll get same result what you wanted to expected to get. So that is the one. I don't know what should I tell advantage or should I tell worrisome, but we can do that. We can use ChatGPT for generating data and transcribe recordings of research material. This is helpful for your qualitative study. For example, you have conducted interview, and in interview, you have in interview you collected recordings or you recorded videos, and now for analysis purpose we cannot what we cannot use videos. We need text. Okay, we need text. For example, which one I'll use? This one. Copy, share, copy link. It will extract the data. We'll see that. Extract the content discussed in this video. I don't know whether ChatGPT will do it or not, but the notebook LLM do that. Provided. Okay, okay. See, then we can use this particular text and you can upload it in NVO software or Max QDA software for qualitative analysis. I'll show that software Max QDA, which is used for qualitative analysis here. This is the software which you use for qualitative and NVO, even NVO. And this one, which one I was explained, G Power. Okay, G Power. Now I think it is uninstalled. G Power for sample size determination. This is the for qualitative. We have to upload text, or you can manually. You can do qualitative analysis. You can do manually. Okay. Transcribe recordings of research materials. So you can upload videos, audios, and you can transcribe into text form. Then identify ethical issues in research. What are the ethical issues in research? For example, you can ask in this, what are the ethical issues in my study? What are the ethical issues in my study? First one, I have to get informed consent, then power imbalance. Yeah, if you're a teacher for this is very important. Therefore, I am not conducting this particular experiment in my college. I'm conducting this particular experiment in another college because this is the possibility is there, power imbalance. When if I conduct experiment to my students, they feel pressured and they will give behave ethically to please me. So there is a problem, and informed consent I'm taking. Then deception, there is a possibility of deception, and psychological pressure will be there. Data privacy and confidentiality have to maintain, academic integrity and implications, fabrication of information, emotional harm, ethical approval. All this I have to worry while conducting experimental design. Create or edit software code for data analysis. This is particularly in even in SPSS. For example, if you want to do, uh, for example, one hypothesis I'll take. What are the hypotheses of this study? What are the hypotheses of this study? Okay. I'll take one simple one hypothesis. This hypothesis, I'll ask how to test it. How to test this hypothesis in SPSS. In SPSS, how to test this hypothesis in SPSS. Experimental two group controlled or moral solution. Create composite variable. Go to transform composite variable. First, I have to compute the variable. Compute sustainable because I have used 5 items. So I'll take the average. We'll combine that. Then go to analyze, compare mean, independent sample t-test. Look at here, independent sample test. Then move sustainable AI to test variable, move moral solution group to grouping variable, defines group as group 1, 0. Okay, fine. Click OK. Interpretation. See this one. It will give each step what to do for the data analysis. How to do it in R? How to do it in R software? Because R is a coding software. In R, you have to write code to get the analysis. See here. This is the code. You have to copy this code and paste it in R. First, you have to import the file. Then you have to copy and paste. Nowadays, R is very simple. Earlier, we have to remember all this code. But nowadays, no need to remember code. Directly copy, paste. Look at direct copy paste R software. Reliability check, everything. Any test you want, you can take the code from the ChatGPT, direct copy. And even in R software, there is an option called ChatGPT. Within R, there is a you can install ChatGPT. So that option is there. But for that, you need API keys. For that, you have to pay $10. Okay. But without AI, ChatGPT within this one outside also you can. What is this? R Studio now is available. You are using. Okay, okay. Remind me later. So this is the form where you have to copy paste. This is the console form. Here you have to copy paste your code. Okay. You can copy paste and you will get the result. This is our software. Nowadays it becomes very easy. Why R is many researchers are using? One is it is completely open source and completely free, and you can run any kind of analysis using R. If you know the coding and if you know how to generate coding using generative AI, you can definitely use R software. Then you can ask about the test. For example, uh, what are the assumptions for this test? Because first we have to meet assumption, then only we can use test. So these are the assumptions we have to meet before using independent sample t-test. Linearity, independence of errors. Okay, if you are using linear regression, normality of residuals, homoscedasticity, then no multicollinearity. So all this we have to meet. So if you want to ask anything about the test or how to do it, everything you can ask. Learning is very important. Without learning, it is difficult to write paper. Like if you don't know what is t-test, you just import the data to the SPS and run the t-test. It is not enough. because later you'll get comments from the reviewer. Why did you use independent sample tests? There is one more option, linear regression. Why didn't you use regression? So, so there are questions you have to answer. So, therefore, first understand the test, why they use, and what are the assumption, and how to use, and how to interpret everything. You should know. So you can take help of this ChatGPT to understand or for learning those tests. Then create or edit simulation software code, that is done. Support statistical data analysis. Okay. Use and refine analytical strategy and interpretation. You can uh, take help of generative AI for interpretation of result. For example, I'll generate one result. Hmm, paper process. A trap. Yeah, it will open. Sometimes we know how to do the test, but very difficult to do the analysis and interpretation. What you can do, you can analyze the data using softwares, and you can copy paste those result into ChatGPT or any AI tools and ask for the understanding or analysis or interpretation. So uh, we'll see whether table 5. Okay, SPSS is open now. And that's why first I have very important, I want to tell this. Without knowing the fundamental, you cannot use AI. First, we have to understand what is research. Okay. Then only we can use AI, because you directly use, then you will not will be a good researcher. So that is my humble request. Do not use directly. Ambulance, okay, ambulance we have a full paper. Data for EFE, data for, okay, data for EFE, open. So therefore, I first conducted 30 days online workshop. Then only I conducted how we can use GenAI. Because first we have to understand the foundation. Without knowing the foundation, if you directly want to learn using generative AI, then it is very difficult. Where it is for a trap, we'll see that whether already result is there. Yeah, table 5, no, no, no. For example, there is one result is there. I'll directly copy paste this result. Copy. This is the result of regression. This is a big result. I will copy indirect effect. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I'll copy this one, just model summary. Like that, you can copy paste any result outcome variable. Model 73, I'll copy from this model predictor term. Okay, paste order conditional predict. Yes, copy. Copy, I pasted the result. Analyze this result. Analyze this result. I directly copy pasted the result of process macro into generative AI. So it helps to analyze. Model type 73. Okay. Model fit outcomes, main effect. So APD significantly and positively predict AS. So this support hypothesis that APD increases AS and DL does not significantly predict A. Two-way interaction is given, not significant. PSN does not moderate the APD and AS relationship. Okay. Okay. Yes. Like this, you can even write in a paragraph, write in a paragraph. The result from process model 73 indicates significant effect, suggesting that higher level of APD associated with the increased AS show that strong significant positive effect. So this you can take to your research, or you can make some changes if you want. If you are not satisfied with this, you can make changes. So this is the way you can understand the analysis of the result. Then help pattern recognition in data. Even with the help of ChatGPT, you can, there is no need of external software for this. You can directly upload a data file to ChatGPT. For example, I uploaded synthetic data which we created using ChatGPT. Find out average of moral obligation, correct? Moral obligation and sustainable AI. Sustainable AI. Find out average. Okay, first average, we'll find out average. So it will do the analysis. So to find out it will give the result. See, moral obligation 5 at a composite mean 3.01, sustainable. Okay. Find out, conduct a linear regression. Conduct linear regression. Conduct a linear regression. See, linear regression was conducted with the dependent variable and moral obligation as the predictor. Result, moral obligation significantly predicts sustainable AUs beta of 0.458 and t value 148. Sorry, for 148 degree of freedom 6.57, which is more than 1.96, and p value less than 0, significant. Model is statistically significant. R square is point, which is good. Interpretation is given. Say everything it will do. It will do the average, it will do the correlation, regression, and it will do the interpretation. Okay. And even it. So you can take these words and you can write it your own way. And you can better, you can write it better. Okay. Interpretation, because you know the context, you know the concept. Okay. Therefore, you can write better. So this is how you can use ChatGPT for data analysis, pattern recognition in data. Then create or modify scientific figures or images. So you can create a state model in image. For this, I'll suggest you can use Gemini. Gemini is very good in creating image. You can banana. You can use banana create image, and here you can type whatever it is. Nowadays, everyone using this banana Gemini banana to create the image. Even for research for developing conceptual model, test a beautiful tested model, we can create tested model in image. Even conceptual model we can directly develop in Gemini. Look it here. You can directly copy and you can download this image and insert this image into your paper. Okay, every result in one image for better understanding. Then suggest structure of our research article, which I already discussed. We can create pattern or structure of the paper and help draft part of research article. We can write introduction or interpretation of the result. Then propose title, abstract, keywords. You can rewrite your abstract. You can directly upload your article into this. For example, once you completed your paper, then if you want a very good abstract, then you can upload your paper to this, for example, a trap, which is already done. Still, I'll where is the full paper? Okay, very important. Remember, whenever you upload your article to the generative AI, it will take the content into cloud. Okay, it will record. So what will happen? The thing is, whenever somebody asks the same questions about your research, it will provide the result from the content you provided. For example, now I uploaded, no problem, because it is already in review and which is already in the process of acceptance. So therefore, I uploaded and write abstract in emerald style. Mean structured abstract. You can directly upload your article and you can tell that write it in 200 words, write it in 100 words. It will read your entire article and write abstract. Okay, write abstract. So this will be very uh, valid and very qualitative abstract. For even keywords, it will suggest even keywords. Okay, then language format reference. You can create a format. For example, I'll upload article. Sometimes we need citation and references. Citation and references. For example, create in-text citation. Create in-text citations and reference in APA style. I uploaded an article. I want in-text citations and reference in APA style. Okay. In text citation, how it will goes? In text citation, trust. All right. Create. All right. It generated all references. Where is that? This is done. Okay. Create in-text citation and reference for this article. Prompt is very important here for this article in API style. If you give vague instruction or vague prompt, it will give vague result or general result. If you want a specific result, you have to give very specific prompt. See, in text citation, Scholz 2025, narrative citations, Scholz 2025. Reference, look at the reference, API style. It will generate. You can directly copy paste this reference to into your paper. Okay, you can generate citations, you can generate references, all those. Any style, MLA style. If you want MLA style, then say MLA style. And if you want in RIS form, which you want to upload into your Mendeley or reference manager, then you have to convert this article into RIS form. It will write RIS form also. Look at here. This is RIS form. You can copy this into notebook and you can import into Mendeley. So references is possible. Format references, which I explained, identify strength and weakness in a manuscript during a peer review. So if you are reviewer, you can again you can use the uh, AI for reviewing the paper, or if you want to review your own paper, you can upload paper and ask what are the strength and weakness of this paper. For example, strength what are the strength and weakness of this paper? If you're I am a reviewer for this paper. What are the strengths and weaknesses of this paper? I'm a reviewer of this paper. As a reviewer, you want to review the strength and weaknesses of that particular paper. So you can do this. What are the strengths and what are the weaknesses? So then you can point out those points to the author to improve it, and how you can he can or she can